Even when the Force fails you, you can fall back on family. There are a lot of clones on the other side of that door.
Kvark! Which means, phooey.
She shows it, and it looks like there is a small platoon out there.
Okay. Small platoon means 10? Or more like 30?
I don't know that it has numbers on it.
Okay, that's fair. Is she just picking up, is it like how is she tracking them on the datapad?
The datapad itself is it's going to be like a black screen with white outlines of the shape of the space.
Okay.
And I think you're seeing little blue pulsing squares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Now we're still in the 1 check per person because we're not there yet, right?
No, you did 3.
We did 3.
Yeah,
okay.
we're out of that.
Okay. So we need to go through there. So Chub turns to Bala and asks,
Bala, is there another secret passageway out of here? That's a lot of guys.
Peshnavala says,
I don't think so.
and she walks up to the door.
Oh, right, we can do.
Okay. She walks up to the door and puts a hand on the door, and you can't see her face, but you know that she is looking past it, through it, at what's behind. And she says,
There are 7 clone troopers on the other side of this door.
Ooh, that's a 1-to-1.
and Debo says, the hangar bay is just beyond this passage. If we can make it through those 7.
So, Mark,
Yes.
what are the odds of us just opening the door and just sprinting through them?
Certainly can try.
I don't want to get any of them killed. Like, I feel very, very strong. Like, these are children.
Yeah.
I do not want them to die.
Mhm.
So, I feel very strongly about that. How much energy does Debo have right now? Is it something where
Debo is limping, and
Yeah, so
his
he's not-
arm is still injured.
his force is going to be pretty depleted?
So, full inventory here. You have
Yes.
Debo Bend, who has his
Right.
lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
You have Bala.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have any. She's got a couple books.
She's cute.
Yeah. You have Draxel, who is a wrecking ball.
That was condescending. Ball is more than cute. She's extremely useful. But
She's great.
she'll just have to beat people to death with books, which I believe in her ability to do so.
Mhm.
She's tall, though, right?
No.
She's not.
I mean, she's taller than you.
Well, that's not difficult. It's all relative, I suppose. Okay.
Draxel's a wrecking ball.
Square.
A big square.
Yep.
Shambasa is equally wrecky and not square.
Mm-hmm.
Henna has her data pad. She has a heavy blaster that she stole from the clone, and she has 2 frag grenades.
Oh, Henna.
She
Mayo.
looted.
Oh.
She looted that sergeant.
That girl, she is...
And you have a lightsaber.
Right, correct.
And Jonas is Jonas.
He has his moodiness. He has his feelings.
He has his feelings.
Okay.
And we're all allowed to have our feelings.
Correct. That's correct. Not useful in a fight necessarily.
No.
But he can have them. He's processing his life, and that's okay. But Henna. Let's go back to Henna. Let's talk about this girl.
Yeah.
I am deeply impressed and proud. She scavenged the living daylights out of those clone troopers.
It's just one.
Oh, just one?
Yeah.
Oh, girl. Okay. I would like her...
She also has a comlink.
Oh, so she can
A
hear
clone
them
comlink.
talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I mean, if they're making a call, she can.
Oh, okay, but not just them communicating.
Yeah. You
Amongst-
didn't take, like, their helmet or anything.
Okay, gotcha. I think it would be worth it to have her... Well, has she been... It's something that she would just hear if it was occurring, right? She
If somebody was sending orders or
Right.
repositioning troops or whatever else.
Well, I guess that's my first question. Has she heard anything while we've been making this journey?
She has heard that they have not heard from the squad that they sent in to deal with the Jedi Master.
Right.
And that they were sending more squadrons in. And I think yeah, I'll flip that dark side point, because she would have also heard that when that squad went in to deal with the Jedi Master, that the Master wasn't there.
Okay, great.
So the whole place is on high alert.
Sure. Okay. What grenades were they?
Frag grenades.
Can frag grenades, do they have any settings on them so as not to, like, destroy, because I don't want the kids...
No, they don't have, like, stun setting.
Okay, because I don't want the kids to get murdered, but I do not want them to be murderers either. They're children.
Yeah.
They do not need that trauma. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm taking this too seriously, but in the Star Wars world, I feel like a lot of people are just gotten rid of without dying, So
you also have 3 light side points in this whole inventory.
Yes, well, I was going to say, if you can't set them, I was going to flip a light side point so that no one's killed, but they can be disabled.
Well, you can also add to this space. Is there another door?
Oh!
Do you want to toss a
grenade out
a different door and...
To sear some vent the bodies.
Well, I mean, you could toss it out another door and then have... We could try to have Draxel say... the master's been spotted in this place.
So they can make a call on their comlink, right?
Somewhere, and as the clones go through, or...
All right, I get it, Mark. Okay. They can make a call with the comlink. Mm-hmm. Okay, so diversions instead of doing the direct approach. Yeah. I like it. I like that idea very much. I like the idea of like a little bait and switch idea. Throw a grenade out one door, disappear out the other while they're distracted. Because then we could run behind them to the... Mm-hmm. Because you had the little alcove that you came out of with I would assume there's another statue. Yes, yes.
I'll try to duck behind the statue or behind these computers or something.
Yeah.
Probably not behind the big clear glass things.
So, okay. Let me visualize this room. So I'm assuming it's like a big rectangle of a lab.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
So it's a big rectangle of a lab.
Great.
There's a door off to one of the shorter sides of it. Mm-hmm. There are a couple little alcoves on one of the long walls, one of which you came out of a secret passage to.
Perfect. Yes. Okay.
The opposite short wall also has a door. Mm-hmm. And then there are a number of banks of computers and a big hollow projector table in the center.
Okay.
There are also a couple of those big clear screens with computers attached to them.
Uh-huh. Now, which side are the troopers? Okay, great.
They're on the south side of this little map, though.
Now, this is definitely the side that we need to exit from.
Yep.
Okay. And what is on the other side of this wall?
Space.
Got it. Okay. They're hanging out here not because they know we're in this room.
No.
They're just on alert. So everyone's checking corridors and halls.
This is the way to the landing platform, the landing bay.
Okay.
So they are presumably the people who are preventing people from going to the landing bay.
So here's the thing about these Padawan. Padawan is plural or singular?
Sure.
Is it both?
Singular, I think.
So I would say Padawans.
Probably.
Padawai? Is that the plural?
Yes.
Okay. So these Padawai, that's just silly to say, are getting a very comprehensive education that does involve the sciences. Because the Force is related to science. They're not mutually exclusive. So they have an understanding of some of the things going on in this lab.
Probably a rudimentary understanding, but yeah.
True, but they could get started at some stuff. So it is a physics lab, but there is a little station with some chemicals. Some chemicals happening at another station.
Okay.
At one of the tables. There's some chemicals, and they're bits.
It looks like it's somebody's like pet project. It's an astrobiology.
Right. So it's some beakers with different gases stoppered in them, and some stardust, and pieces of different meteorites and things like that have certain metals in them. And it looks like somebody has been working with some gases and liquids and things that, when combined, are combustible.
With a light side flip, sure.
Yeah, and this is all with the provision that I'm going to flip a light side point.
Okay.
This is my answer to a separate door.
Okay.
So this is different. So here's where I'm going with this. I want the kids to do their little science experiment, cause an explosion that will draw those troopers into the room, and I'm picturing that the table is at the far end of the room towards the opposite entrance, so that the kids can be hiding in this alcove. They can run in, see the explosion over here, they'll run to that end of the room, and then we can slip past, because they'll be at the opposite end of the room with their view obstructed by the holo display, the computers, and different things like that. They have to navigate through the opposite end of this very large room, and then we can slip through the end that they're not at and exit.
Okay.
That's my thing. Now, I imagine I want to use a light side point to do the science experiment and create the explosion.
Yep.
Part of that light side point. Create the explosion, but then have time, because we're going to have to run to the opposite end of the room to duck into that forward alcove. So have time to get there before they start running in and see them.
Okay.
So they would run around the back side of the room.
So what we want to do is you're going to flip a light side point to have this stuff to make the explosion. And then we're going to do a knowledge check.
Yep.
And a stealth check.
Yes, that fits. Now, are they going to be for the whole group, or do I need to...
They can be group.
Okay. So then I will get boost because it's the group helping each other.
Yes.
It's pooled knowledge. And, well, I guess that would... For stealthiness, having multiple people is more of a drawback than anything else.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
First things first. Let's do science.
Let's do some science. Education.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Education? Now, are we using Chub's education?
Yeah, because you have the best education.
Okay, great. And then 2 boosts?
3.
Wow.
Make sure to flip your point.
Oh.
And we're going to make it against 3 purple.
That's fair because they're guessing at the materials here. They're guessing their knowledge of it, because, of course, nothing's labeled.
Yeah, it's somebody's own pet project.
Oh!
Okay.
My goodness.
Well, that's 4 failures and 2 advantages.
They didn't just not do a good job. They did a bad job. And Debo is overlooking them and just like, we may need to focus more on the sciences when we return to the academy.
So Debo is actually staying in that back corner.
Oh.
Because of the group of you, it would be probably most difficult for him to get there, back, and out quickly.
He's very tall.
He's very tall, and he's also injured.
Right, slow.
And you and Henna and Draxel all take a poke at these science-y bits.
Beep, bopper, beep. Well, that's not what science sounds like, but I tried.
That's what science sounds like when you try to do it.
That's fair.
And those pieces seem like they could go together to combust, but you just can't quite figure it out. They're just not combining.
So the most that we're
mix them up.
So the most we're getting is just like weird smells and puffs of smoke.
Yeah, it's really just like a glass of water with some rocks at the bottom right now.
It's so disappointing.
Do you have any ideas for your advantages?
So with my 2 advantages, the kids see that this experiment is not going their way. They're just ending up mixing sediment with liquid, and nothing's happening except for some strange smells. So they're standing looking at it. And then Chub just says,
why don't we just make a ruckus?
And starts picking up beakers and smashing them against a wall. And of course, knowing that after they make all this noise, they're going to need to book it. So they're ready to book it. But as they're smashing these beakers, they hear the troopers saying,
"You guys hear that? What's that noise?"
And then as they're smashing all these things, it starts... all the liquids and metals and sediment starts to mix together and smoke horribly, and it smells terrible. And Chub says,
"Come on, guys, let's get out of here!"
And they run along the edge of the lab to meet Debo at the front alcove while it's smoking and stinking.
And as you get to the middle of the 3 alcoves, you hear the of the door opening and spot the clones pouring into the room.
Now, we are small children behind very large computers.
Yes.
So they don't immediately spot us.
Yes, I still need a stealth check.
Okay. Stealth. Okay, stealth and then 3 boosts because I'm with my bros.
Yeah. It's going to be against 2 reds and a purple.
Oh boy. That's fair though, because these are a lot. Now, I did 3 boost. Is that correct?
Yes.
3 boosters? Okay. All right. You ready?
Yep.
1 success, 3 advantages.
My poor reds.
Thank you.
So how do you use that distraction to get out of this space quietly and quickly?
First of all, I would like one of my advantages to be that someone in the group counted how many ran in. Because we knew that there were 7 out front.
It's true.
So, how many ran in?
6.
I thought as much, but we noticed.
Yes, you did. Okay.
Great. 1 advantage taken care of. Thank you very much. So, Bala, ever the alert one was counting as everybody ran in and said,
You guys, there are only 6 of them. I know there were 7 out there.
Well, we better get ready for a little altercation.
The group of you pour out into this landing.
we sneak along the edge.
Yeah, you sneak out. You sneak along the edge as these clones try to stamp out the flames that have come up in this space. And going through this short passage, enter the landing bay.
Oh, we're there.
Yeah.
Delightful.
A little short passage, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And you spot that one clone who stayed behind. They are definitely higher ranking. They've got, again, another one of those pauldrons on their shoulders. This time it's gray and blue. And behind him, you see the airlock that will lead to the ship, the Crucible 2.
I think this is when Henna should use her grenade, but throw it past or in front of. I just don't want him to die.
Okay.
Don't really want them to murder a clone trooper. So I'm thinking that she should aim similar as a distraction time, so that he can be distracted while they run past. That's my goal, I think.
Okay.
That's what I would like to have happen. No, I don't think that's my goal. That is my goal, but yeah.
Her difficulty is 2 greens and 2 purples.
Okay.
Do you want to add anything to that with a light side point?
Well, I have 2 more advantages.
You do.
So I would like her to have 2 boosts.
Okay.
Thank you.
That it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 1 success, 1 threat.
Okay. Henna jumps to the front of the group and whips out one of those frag grenades.
I just picture just crazy intensity in her eyes, and she's
super
like, ah!
And she pulls out the frag grenade and she rolls it right between this clone trooper's legs.
Oh boy!
Right between his legs, and then it continues rolling behind him. And you hear the beeping. Beep, 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 beep. When there's a huge explosion.
Excellent.
Which knocks the clone trooper forward towards the group of you.
That's okay.
Yeah. What do?
Chub yells, Ichiwana! Yup, yup! And jumps with their stubby little legs, just leaps into the air over the clone trooper as its body slides underneath them.
You have to walk on it. Yeah.
Oh, well, jumps into the air as it slides underneath them, but
jumps on
Chub
its
is
back.
so tiny that their mighty leap lands on his butt, and then just kind of waddles on hopping from leg to leg as they waddle down the clone troop, and just runs across and yells, Yub Yub! And does the universal, come on, let's go, arm gesture towards their classmates.
As the group of you run across this big open space, alarms start to go off from the smoke and fire and grenade. And
been a lot of combustibles.
Yeah, just in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah. Is Debo able to okayly get over the clone trooper?
Yeah, the group of you make your way towards the airlock, Debo being supported by Chambasa, and as you hit the panel to open the door, you hear a number of doors opening into this big room from the opposite side, and see the white armor of clone troopers.
We keep running.
Yeah, and you get into the ship.
Yeah, that's right. So we're safe, air quotes required, safely in the ship. Who has astrogation or piloting planetary? Oh, Bala. You sweet girl. Look at her. Okay, Pesh.
So you all get into the ship and close the door quickly behind you. Pesh, Tambala, and Henna run up to the cockpit and start cycling the engines, while Chambasa gets Debo into the living quarters and laying down in a comfortable spot. You, Draxel, and Jonas join Henna and Pesh Tambala up in the cockpit as the Crucible 2 pulls away from the Grand Orbital Observatory.
And Chub is feeling just so thrilled that, they think they're finally safe and able to get out of this dangerous situation, and so they yell, Celebrate the power!
And as you pull away, the proximity sensors on the dashboard begin chirping that there are ships closing in. Let's get that astrogation check.
Let's do it. Now, what is Pesh's astro?
Your astrogation is going to be green-yellow.
Okay. And difficulty?
2 with a setback for pressure.
Okay, that's fair. And a boost because her senses are heightened right now. A boost because Henna's helping her.
Henna's piloting.
So
And it's taking all of her concentration because she's not good at it.
So Bala is navigating?
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Right. So Bala's navigating while Henna's piloting.
Yeah.
This is very important.
You want to flip a light side point?
Yes. But if I flip that light side point, I want 2 boosts.
No, you flip it and you turn a green into a yellow.
Okay, then fine.
Which is better than 2 boosts.
No, I'm aware.
Triumph options on a yellow die.
Exactly. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. As Henna pulls away from the Grand Orbital Observatory, that alarm goes off on the dash from incoming ships.
The goo, as they call
The goo?
it.
Yes.
The great goo.
Yeah. And Pashtambala sits in the astrogation station on the computer to plot the course towards Ilum. And as she begins to do that, she realizes that the computer must be one of the things that you were getting updated for the morning, because the correct coordinates are just not there. So she puts in the coordinates that she remembers, which is the planet of Ithor. And as you pull away from the station, you hear the hyperdrive cycle up, and the stars begin to streak in front of the cockpit, and you shoot forward into the blue of hyperspace. The 2 clone ships that were tracking you veer off to the left and right as you disappear into hyperspace. Does Chub have anything to say as they head into the hyperspace for the second time in their life?
Well, when they first started up into hyperspace, and the just anticipation of the jump, in their excitement, Chub yelled, "Kaya!" Which means giddy up!
So Chub Nubbits and their Padawan friends and masters settle in for the long journey through hyperspace into a galaxy that is fundamentally different than the way it was this morning.
Yeah, they've all experienced something that they didn't know would be in existence, a conflict they were unaware of. So they're all sitting around with Debo Bend, who's sitting there too. They're all a little bedraggled. They're all a little tired and run down, and Chub frowns a little bit, looks around. Their eyes stop on Debo Bend, and
Draxel's putting bandages on his arm.
Chub says, kind of aggressively for Chub, not in their usual tone.
Acha! Kush
Says, okay, what's going on?
Thanks for listening to this episode of Coruscant Nights. Coruscant Nights is a production of Nightcast Creative. To find out more about us and our projects, visit nightcastcreative.com. Thanks to Mary Frances for playing on these episodes. If you want more Mary Frances, you can hear her in the first season of The Otherplace. This episode was a little short. Stay tuned for some of the outtakes from my recording session with Mary Frances. If you're looking for more behind-the-scenes peeks at Coruscant Nights, be sure to check out our Patreon, where I write about our recording experiences and the connections between stories. Patrons also happen to get all of the outtakes months before they make it to the show. Have you joined our Discord yet? Come hang out with other fans of Coruscant Nights in the Otherplace and talk about the shows, your favorite RPGs, and other games. We've got monthly live-streamed games, shows like Behind the Mask with Sarah Joy, which you can also find on our YouTube, and board game nights. Check the show notes for a link. And last but not least, don't forget about Donate for Destiny. We've still got a few sessions to record before the end of Season 2. Your dollars can influence Coruscant Nights' Destiny pool and help kids in hospitals and shelters. Alright, you've waited long enough. Please enjoy these outtakes, and we'll see you for a new episode in 2 weeks.
Let's get down to business.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of the Breakfast Club.
Oh, maybe Draxel.
Oh, there was a scream. Hold on a second.
Yeah, go see what that is.
Okay.
So what happened?
Nikki saw a ghost on TikTok.
I love her very much. Okay.
Also, observe.
I thought you said observe, and
I did say observe.
I was gonna let it go, but then you acknowledged it, and now I just have to openly say, "Are you okay, Mark?"
I don't have V's anymore.
That's okay. That's all right.
I've just lost that part of my vocabulary. My vocabulary.
Your vocabulary.
Pashtambala reaches out with the Force and gets a grasp of what this clone trooper is thinking.
You missed me reaching out with the Force.
I did miss you reaching out with the Force.
It was that.
Yeah, not quite like that.
No.
A little less
I
frantic.
was just enjoying myself, alright?
I did it, but
So then I get to use those threats not on a roll.
yeah, you just get to use them willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. All right.
Okay.
How sad would it be if we weren't recording this whole time? We are, I checked. I just wanted to give you a little heart attack real quick. You're welcome. Sorry, I think the coffee's getting to me. This is delicious, by the way.